Okay, I need to adjust my timer now. I set it to 15 minutes. Now I'm told I have 10 minutes. So, yeah, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, habari za mchana. Unfortunately, my colleagues, Engineer Badmos, yes, Engineer Badmos, and his name is Opa, if I'm not mistaken. They were really, really eager to learn Swahili. So I was teaching them what is habari ya asubuhi, and now it's habari ya mchana. Unfortunately, I think they are not yet back, but habari ya mchana. It's a pleasure being here. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the event organizers for this wonderful event that brings health and safety experts across different fields, especially women that have gathered here. So we're here, and just briefly, my name is Frederick Sikai, as I was introduced, and I come from a transport and logistics company called the Blue Coast Investment Limited. We deal in transportation. It's a trucking company basically, but we also transport passengers, staff passengers for our customers. One of them is Gator Gold Mining Limited, so we transport their customers to and from work safely, and we also transport petroleum products to different locations within the country, but also across the borders. So as a transport and logistics company, we have some experiences to share with regards to workplace safety, but also safety on the road. We all know that we have the roads, and on the roads we have vehicles, and there are people and goods moving through the roads. So safety is very important, because without proper and strong safety management systems in place, it's very likely that the number of accidents will continue to rise. So we have the systems in place, and I'm here to share those experiences from our company on what we're doing and how we are bridging the gap between multi-generational workforce. So, okay, thank you very much. So, yes, we have we have a blend of experienced drivers. We have different staff categories. We have drivers, and we have support staff in the offices. And we also have equipment, like especially the trucks that are of that have different technologies. For instance, if you can see here, that is a dashboard of an old technology truck. And now down here, we have a dashboard of a new truck with new technologies. So there are drivers who are driving these trucks. Some of them used to drive the old vehicles, and now you are transforming them, you are handling them new equipment that has new technology which communicates with the driver. If you can see down here, there is a message that is displayed by the truck, like here, this one, and that one. Those are the messages that are displayed by the modern vehicles that we are running in our fleet. So you'll see that there could be some issues or gaps if these technologies and the different generations. We have Gen Z, we have drivers that are maybe some are they call baby boomers, and then there is Gen X and so forth. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, now this is better, I think. We have the opportunity, however, to bridge the gap of the digital skills. We have the opportunity to bring the different generations together to enhance the risk management. So if you can play the next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. Let's watch this video, and then we can get a lesson from this. If you can play the video. Is it a PDF? Is the presentation in PDF? Okay, then I think we'll skip that part. Thank you. But I can describe the video that was to be played here. It is from a dash camera from the truck. The video shows a near-miss incident whereby our truck almost collided with another truck, which was caused by wrong overtaking of other vehicles on the road. So because of the presence of the camera, we were able to capture that event in the camera, and we have been using that as a training material in our drivers' sessions. So we have the trucks that have the technologies, different technologies, artificial intelligence cameras, GPS tracking units, which generate very useful data in terms of enhancing workplace safety, but not only workplace safety, but also safety of the other users on the road. The older generation has deep practical knowledge, often more comfortable with paperwork, more comfortable with paper or manual systems, as I've shown in the previous slide, where we have the old truck with less technology, and then we also have the new trucks with new technology that communicates with the driver, and the system that communicate with themselves and generates dashboards or information that can be very useful in making decisions. So the younger generation, which is more comfortable with technology, like use of smartphones, use of computers, use of social media, and so forth. So these young generation, if you make them work together with the older generation, that means there could be some discrepancies in the understanding, how they learn things, how they communicate, how they interact, how they do things. But if you have a proper system in place to harness the experiences from the older generation or senior drivers, and you combine them with the expertise of the young generation, that means you have a very good chance of improving work safety. For example, in our fleet, we used to have the paper inspection checklists, but now we are having the online inspection checklist. So the drivers use their mobile phones to inspect the vehicles instead of the paper checklists. Before they operate the truck, they have to inspect. So if you can train them, all the drivers, you make them able to use the smartphone. That means, just like we have seen in the previous presentations, we were able to do questions and answer the questions through our smartphones, and in real time we have been able to see the results of the answers that were done by the audience. So similar to the vehicles, we also have the systems that capture the digital data, and then the system analyzes the data, and it gives you an overview of what is happening. If you can go to the next slide. Yes, so in the logistics company, like the previous presenter mentioned, Madam Gloria, she mentioned about the trucking company, how they use the trucks, and in terms of safety. This is an example of the online system that we use for the vehicles inspections. So through the digital systems, now we are able to see whether the truck has been inspected. If a driver operates the truck without inspection, we see in real time. You can see here, it can tell us how many vehicles have been inspected, how many have not been inspected, how many trucks failed the inspections, and we can instantly see what was the issue with the truck. So this is made possible by the modern technology. Now, if you have the drivers who are young, who are more comfortable with the technology, modern technology, and you have the older generation drivers who were familiar with the paper or manual systems, these can be gaps. And then you will not be able to achieve the benefits of this system. So there is a need to make sure that these different generations, you have a system to make sure that they're all comfortable with the digitalization or the digital tools. If you can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. Yes, so risk management with digitalization and digital tools. This is just a quick examples. For instance, in our company, we used to have physical meetings, toolbox meetings with the drivers, with the staff, different staff, mechanics. We do physical meetings to discuss various safety topics. Now, we started to adopt digital platforms like the online calls, the online conferences, online meetings. So since we moved to the online meetings, we have been able to improve the participation of the workers in the OHS matters by 80%, because for the manual meetings, you are not able to meet the drivers who are on the road. So now the company has committed to making sure that every day, Monday to Friday, at 8:30 for 30 minutes, all the company fleet stops and the drivers participate in the safety meeting through their mobile phones. So you can see now we're using the technology, the modern technology, to manage workplace safety. So through the online meetings that are conducted every day, the participation of drivers has been 80% improved in the safety meetings. So you'll see now through that initiative, the drivers, the safety culture is improving every day. And we're also using, as previous speakers mentioned, that you have the automatic or the AI meeting takers, like the Read AI. It automatically generates the summary of what was discussed. It consolidates the meeting attendance. It will show you who attended, who did not attend. So you're using that technology, the artificial intelligence in that aspect. But also, we use AIs nowadays to aid in the preparation of the training and communication materials, safety materials. Yes, as Madam Gloria said, it is not a threat. The AI is really helping us. We are trying to take benefit or take advantage of the AI. So we are using the AI also to prepare safety materials for communicating various safety messages to the drivers. Next slide. Yes, also in terms of environment, the engineer Badmos spoke about sustainability. We're also using the AI and the different technologies like the GPS devices and the systems for tracking. The modern fleet, like the one I displayed in previous slide, the fleet communicates itself actually. There is this thing called the fleet management system. It has a built-in system that analyzes the usage of fuel and the emissions. So the systems communicate and then it generates dashboards or visuals or the information, the summaries that can be used by the management to make decisions to monitor emissions. So making the fleet more profitable and environmentally sustainable. Yes, the other advantage of the AI and the digitalized systems is the accident investigation. Just to mention a few, if you have, of course, the video is not displayed, but from that video, we could have seen that when the incidents occur, we are really interested to find out the root cause of the incident. So through the digital systems and the modern tools of the digital era, we can be able to identify the root cause with greater degree of certainty. So once we have the root cause, we can develop the proper corrective actions. Next slide. Yes, of course, there are some challenges. One of the challenge, it could be like the older generation. They used to drive manual trucks, and everything worked. Now you're telling the driver, before they operate the truck, they have to fill out a checklist. You see how that can create some resistance, because they used to drive the truck and everything worked very well. Now you're introducing some papers and mobile phone inspections, so forth. But also, some may not be very comfortable with the new technology, always maybe fearing, okay, maybe I cannot be able to use the smartphone properly. These are real experiences that we have with our drivers. A driver says, no, how can I be able to join an online meeting? I have never done that. So we show him, we help him connect, and eventually they take off. So sometimes there could be fear of technology. But also, for the younger generation, like the supervisors in the office, they may be too confident with the technology, and they may not really they may not really understand how the older generation might be feeling about the technology. Communication gap is another challenge. Different styles of communication, different styles of learning. Like the older generation may prefer maybe writing letters, writing emails, but nowadays the new generation really prefers SMS, something like that, WhatsApp, Facebook, you see? So there could be those communication challenges. Language barrier, most of the technologies are in foreign language. We use Kiswahili, but if you have seen in the first slide, the message that the truck is communicating to the driver is in English language. So how many drivers are conversant with English language? So you see there could be language barriers as well in the technologies, in the digitalization technology and the use of artificial intelligence. Perception, yes, also maybe to the investors, they may not be not the investors, but yes, the investors might think that these solutions could be too expensive. But you see the investor can buy a truck, a brand new truck, very modern, but investing in the health and safety systems, the digital tools, they might think, that is expensive, but they did not think that the truck is expensive, you see? But the AI tools and the modern digitalization technologies, some of them might perceive as an expensive investment. Next slide. Okay, how we bridge the gap now, how we bridge the gap. We have seen the possible gaps in the multi-generational workforce as we have in our company. First of all, I think awareness creation. The workplace needs to acknowledge that there could be differences in the generational understanding of the technologies and so forth. So we have an open discussion around it, and then that is one way of making sure that we can iron out any differences and misperceptions. Mentorship, whereas senior workers and younger workers, they could be, the younger generation may be mentoring the older generation in terms of technology, but also the older generation sharing their experiences, because the older generation has been here even before the mobile phones were here. Now there is a generation which is born into the smartphone and social media technology. So you can see we can both benefit from these interactions. Locally tailored solutions could be another area. We can have locally made solutions instead of only imported solutions, because the imported solutions were designed in a different context. But in our context, we need to have something that really suits our need on the local level. But also, we need to persuade the investors. We need to demonstrate to the investors, as OHS professionals, we need to demonstrate to the investors the benefits of these systems so that they can see the value instead of seeing the paywall, the cost. They should see the value that is brought about by the systems. Next slide. Thank you. So just to conclude, it's just not about technology when we are talking about digitalization, but rather we need to make sure that people adopt it together. All of us, the professionals, the investors, the younger generation, the older generation, making sure that we adopt this together so that we harness the benefits out of it, but also bridging the generations builds a resilient and digitally literate workforce. Now at Blue Coast, our drivers are able to use smartphones to join safety meetings every day, and something that they had not been doing before. Just to close my presentation, is just to emphasize that the use of the digitalization and digital tools and AIs has been very useful in our company, and we are proud to be one of the companies that is innovating every day, seeing how we can benefit from the digital systems to make sure that our fleet is safe and we deliver goods and people safely to their destinations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Frederick, for the presentation.